Hi, my name's Phil Dickinson and I'm Vice President of International Markets and the MICE.
Phil, thank you for giving Breaking Travel News some time here at ITB Berlin. Isn't it great to be back?
Amazing. After 3 years, such an important show on the travel trade calendar. Great opportunity for us to reconnect with all of our important sort of travel partners from across the world and the travel trade media.
You've had a pretty busy 12 months, I'd say, to be probably pretty...
Little understatement.
Yeah.
Little small tournament. I think the last time we met, we were nearly there, weren't we, when we met at World Travel Market in London. Now super psyched about how well everything went. I think the important thing which we talked about before was about the fan experience, but also the media and the teams and the whole activation, I suppose, of the whole country that's sort of embraced the tournament. And first time it's ever been held in the Middle East, and also the first time that it's been held in one city. But I think the feedback we're getting is amazing. I think everybody had a fantastic time, and the fact that 5 billion people were tuned in over the period of the tournament sort of put sort of Qatar sort of firmly on the map.
I mean, you really couldn't have kind of created a better final, and all of that momentum, I guess, that you built.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about sort of how you're capitalising on that and what the strategy is to go beyond that.
No, absolutely. I think from a tourism perspective, we always knew it was about using that as our springboard into our sort of legacy and into our plans moving forward. So basically now that momentum exists. Because there was so much infrastructure built during with the build-up to the World Cup as part of the national vision, by the way, not just for the tournament, but part of the national 2030 vision for Qatar. We're now left with fantastic, a lot of new hotel product, restaurants, attractions, a new metro system, the state-of-the-art new grand terminal for the cruise. So we have a fantastic offering for the tourists coming through, the visitors. So whether that's people coming through for leisure, whether that's people coming through for leisure, as they're calling it these days, with a bit of corporate and a bit of leisure, or whether it's the MICE business, which we're very interested in as well, and stopover, focusing on both stopover and point to point. So we were executing our plans before and during the World Cup, and now we're continuing that momentum with a fairly major our Feel More campaign, which I'm sure you've seen in our priority markets. Really promoting Qatar as a very family-friendly destination, fantastic place to go for a bit of winter sun. We're also obviously targeting very much what we call our demand spaces, which is your romantic getaways, your active holidays, your rest and relaxation, your culture enthusiasts. So we're dialing in our campaigns to sort of really get to sort of the audiences engaged with the destination. And then, of course, our hotels are being massively supported with some great offers through our travel trade partners. We're also doing a huge amount with the travel trade, with getting fam trips out, lots of the travel agencies out. We've launched our Qatar Specialist program that obviously the trade can get themselves very educated on the destination. And then we're, as I said, fam trips to bring out not just the travel trade, but a lot of the journalists, the content creators, the influencers, the bloggers, so they can go back and talk about the destination as well. But we're seeing some great momentum. I mean, we've had a very strong January and February. I mean, we benchmark ourselves now against 2019, and we had 729,000 arrivals in January and February, which is a 30% increase on 2019, where the momentum was quite strong as well. So I think that we won't take all the credit for that as a tourism, but I think on the back of the World Cup and our campaigns and our proactivity with the travel trade and working closely with Qatar Airways, I think that's basically how we've managed to do it.
Yeah, it definitely feels that you're working as one nation, cross-cutting, everyone working together, and that really seems to be paying dividends.
Yeah, listen, I think we're very joined up. I think it's the way it can. It's a good example of how well it can work. I mean, we have we're lucky enough to have His Excellency, who's the Group CEO of Qatar Airways, is also the Chairman of Qatar Tourism. So we have complete transparency, but it also means we have a global footprint as well. But obviously with Qatar Airways flying to 150 destinations and growing the capacity, growing their routes, and obviously being voted again and again world's best airline, flying into world's best airport. So we have a lot of things in our favour, and it's such a, if any destination is going to be successful, you need a good hub and spoke system, and we have that with, we fly to every continent non-stop on the world's best airline, so we're blessed in that regard. It's just now up to us as tourism to make sure that we're continuing to engage with the consumer and the trade to make sure that that they can send more of their visitors to Qatar.
And you mentioned it a couple of times in the introduction and then again just now. So MICE. Tell me a little bit about sort of the MICE proposition.
No, definitely. So we have 2 state-of-the-art convention centres. The DECC, which is right in the heart of the West Bay, surrounded by infrastructure, hotels, shopping mall, restaurants, right on the Corniche. And then we have the QNCC as well, which is a state-of-the-art facility that can offer something quite different in terms of amazing sort of amphitheatre-style setups. They're both very modern facilities, 30,000 square metres of exhibition space each. So we're very active in the MICE space, and you'll see. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it already that Qatar's very active in driving more, not just something the likes of us on the scale of the World Cup, but other big. We've got the Asia Cup coming in January next year.
Truly an events destination.
We've got the Formula One. We've got the Geneva Motor Show coming. We're talking, we're having ongoing discussions with the UNWTO. So there's always conferences, summits going on, and we can cater that very, very easily again with the excellent airlift, and also plenty of hotels for people to stay and places and things for them to see and do when they're in Qatar as well. So we're very active in the MICE space.
In terms of projects that you also, because you're never stopping. So what's 23, 24 going to kind of look like in terms of projects? What else is coming kind of to market?
Yeah, so we're sitting at about 38,000 beds at the moment. But that will increase with a few more openings before the end of this year. Now that's sort of 100% increase on what we had 4 or 5 years ago. So I think we will probably let that bed in before we add a lot more. But I think it's the case that we have so much to offer post the World Cup with, as I said, with the Winter Wonderland, the new water parks opening, with the kite surfing beach resort that's opened, with the new malls that's opened. And a lot of new, stellar lineup of restaurants as well. Your Zumas and all of these new restaurants that have come into Qatar with the infrastructural changes. So I think it's a case of a lot's happened and was ready just before or just after the World Cup. So I think it's more a case of telling the world about that and letting them come and enjoy all that we've. I think we've got a lot in it, a lot to offer now with a mixture of, outdoor activities and theme parks and malls and restaurants, and obviously the cultural side with the museums and everything else as well.
So what else could I experience when I visit Qatar?
Well, I think in addition to what I've mentioned already, I think something that is very unique to Qatar is that we do have the largest congregation of whale sharks anywhere in the world. And that runs through from May right through to September. So Discover Qatar, one of our main inbound tour operators in Qatar, offer fantastic opportunities for people to go out on boats to see this enormous congregation of these large mammals in the water, and the opportunity to sort of get up close to those whale sharks.
A serious bucket list tick. Have you done it?
I haven't, I must admit. I want to, but I didn't have a chance next year, but it's definitely on my bucket list for this year. Yeah.
Well, hopefully next time I interview you will have. So I'm watching this interview and I'm asking the question, how do I take you up on your offer to come and experience the destination myself from a fan perspective, or I'm a potential MICE customer? What's the next step I should take?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, we reach out to have a look through our Visit Qatar website. There's a huge amount of information on there for the consumer, suggested itineraries, what to do, what to see. We break down depending how long you're likely to be there for. We also have our corporate website, which is qatartourism.com for the trade and for the media to go in. And again, we have a huge repository for video content, for images, for support to the travel trade. So plenty of opportunities to people to access Qatar through either the consumer visit Qatar.com or the QatarTourism.com for the corporate side of things.
Thank you very much for giving BTN some time today. Have a great rest of your ITB.